It was February 15th, 2009, and the season would start off with the great American race, the Daytona 500. It's the most anticipated and popular race of the whole entire NASCAR season, even to this day. After a very long pre-race show, the green flag was out, and the Daytona 500 was underway. Leading up to the big one, besides the competition caution, there were a few cautions, such as Eric Almirola, Travis Quappo, Ryan Newman, and Joey Logano. With 77 laps to go, Dale Jr. went to the inside line of Brian Vickers trying to pass him for the lead, as he had a very huge run. Brian Vickers decided to block Dale Jr., forcing him under the double yellow line. Dale Jr. wasn't tolerating that. He came back up onto the racing surface, clipped Brian Vickers' left rear quarter panel, and he caused the big one with 77 to go. The caution came out immediately, and many cars had severe damage or light damage, but many of the cars that were involved, such as Denny Hamlin, Jimmy Johnson, and Kyle Busch, were race-winning cars. Now, about a year ago from when this video is being released, Dale Jr. ended up talking about this incident on his podcast. Here's what he had to say about it.
I got to run off the corner on Brian, and I've talked about this before, so sorry I have to do this, but he comes down the racetrack, and I'm like, I'm not going below the line, buddy. And he forces me below the line. I'm like, you took my spot. You pushed me away. You pushed me down the track. I'm coming back up. If you don't move, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I drive back up the racetrack, turned him. He overcorrected back into the field. Big crash. And honestly, man, I felt hardly little or no remorse for that ever since.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, and I told him on the phone. We get on the phone, and he's like, what the hell? And I'm like, you ran me below the line. I'm coming back up to the racetrack to get back in line or get back on the track. I'm under you. You forced me down. Move up. What do you want me to get? You want me to lift and get behind you? This is not how racing works. And in that moment, man, I was like, I no longer care what happens to you. You put yourself in this situation, and whatever consequences come are because of what you did. And that was, kind of the conversation we had, at least the way I remember it.
Now, I do think Dale Jr. could have lifted ever so slightly, and he could have gotten back into the racing groove. But to be fair to Dale Jr., he did clear Brian Vickers, and he was going for the pass, but he shoved him below the double yellow line. And he can't do that in NASCAR. That's not how racing works, and Dale Jr. was right about that. That is not how it works. He cleared Brian Vickers, and he had all right to take that spot. But the consequence is that if he was going to come up there and hit Brian Vickers out of the way, even though he didn't move, it caused a huge wreck, taking out multiple race-winning cars. Now, on the bright side, Matt Kenseth would just barely be coming out of this wreck alive, and he would be coming out unscathed, and he would end up winning the Daytona 500 due to the race being shortened by rain. Well, I'd like to thank you guys for watching today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one.